back. Sorry about that. You know, sometimes people call me. It ruins everything for me on my phone. So I have to start forwarding my calls. And I even didn't do that right now. So I don't know. It could happen again. But you know me. I go out, I'll come back in. Right now, it's all the replay people. So I'm waiting for you guys to come back because I had like almost 20 people watching. Hi, Laura. Welcome back. Welcome back. Just waiting for everybody to come back on. We have a lot to talk about today, you guys. Oh my goodness. And for those of you who were just watching with me, Caroline's press conference, everyone is talking about it. Oh, good. Sherry's back. Awesome. Welcome back, my dear. Yeah. Everybody's talking about it. Am I right? I mean, you know, I haven't trusted Democrats in a long time, but after last night, you have to wonder, whose side are they on? What's happening here? Why does it seem like the Democrats hate America and Americans? And of course, they hate President Trump. Thank you, Sherry. Wait, actually, yeah, I gotta wear my MAGA hat because I'm so proud of President Trump, and I am so proud of my fellow Americans who voted for him and who understand what was at stake. And we had a lot at stake. Like, we were going down a real bad road. Oh, ay, ay, ay. Wait for more people to come back because I want to talk about this. And actually, on this show, I kind of would like to see these Democrats come on and see what they have to say for themselves. Are they still Democrats? Are they still believing these people who supposedly represent them in Congress and the Senate? Who are those people? Who are those people who would applaud for continued war? Who would do such a thing? Warmongers? Anybody? Criminals? Arms dealers? Seriously, who in their right mind claps like a seal for war? Especially when you learn, and J.D. Vance pointed this out, that the people fighting the war in Ukraine are literally dragged off the streets. They, like Gestapo style, they drag them off the streets. And a lot of them are older people, like in their 40s and older than, I mean, they're not young. They're not teenagers. They have families. Hey, Poppy. It is very confusing why anybody would want this war to continue and why people are literally dying for what I can see is a bunch of grifters. Hi, VT, Trump on top. I don't know what some people are saying, but anyway. Yes, Munchkin. That's it, I'll call you Munchkin. Yes, Munchkin, we're talking about Trump. And I want to know why anybody in the right minds would support continued war and sending money overseas to a dude who just said he didn't even get half of it. And we're talking billions of dollars with a B, with a T, like a lot of flipping money. Yeah. We should send it over there so they can keep killing people with it. What? President Trump doesn't want that to happen anymore. And I do want to know why you would be against peace in Ukraine. For that matter, peace in the Middle East. When President Trump was in office the last time, there was no war. Not even a little bit. In fact, there was peace in the Middle East. And if President Trump had continued on his second term, as he should have, there would never have been a war in Ukraine. For real. For real. Never would have happened. So y'all need to stop talking about this war like it was a fait accompli. It was not. It was fomented by warmongers who make money from war. All right, we're going to go back to Caroline Leavitt's press conference. She was taking questions. In part one, we had her speech, and then she started to take questions. So it is refreshing to hear some of the reporters asking actually intelligible questions. There's still a bunch of people, let's say, who are being paid by, I don't know, NGOs and governments maybe, I don't know, who are asking stupid questions. But hi, Linda. Yes, they have no souls. There is some kind of a breakdown in our American government. I do not believe that this reflects the will of the people. I know that there are people out there who hate Trump. I also know that the people who will come on my channel today, spouting a lot of things like lies, and calling him names that aren't Trump and being really rude, those are probably just bots, because it's hard to believe that there are actual people with brains in their heads who are not getting wealthy from the U.S. aids or anything else. If you're not super wealthy, you're not going to have a problem with any of this. Just saying. Or those of you who just hate billionaires, but you don't hate George Soros. He's fine, right? Bill Gates, you like him, don't you? But Elon Musk, oh man, he's eliciting a lot of hate, isn't he? And one of their concerns is no transparency. But did you know that you can actually go on the Doge website and see every single thing they're doing? If that isn't transparency, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. Anyway, let's go back to Caroline's speech. I mean, her question and answer.
Panama this morning, or at some point today, said that President Trump was lying.
Panama.
Wanted to get your response to that, and also curious if the president had a reason for not specifically mentioning BlackRock last night when he was praising the company that is buying canals.
This is interesting about Panama.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Panama has seen what's going on with their own canal, but as you just mentioned, BlackRock is now interested in investing and taking over the two ends of the port, which is very important because the president was very vocal several weeks ago about the need to ensure that China is not controlling the Panama Canal.
Right.
This is a very important place for the United States of America. We also saw that the Panama Canal lifted fees on our U.S. naval ships that are going in and out of the canal. That's a win for the United States of America. And the president will continue to ensure that the Chinese government, the CCP, cannot be infiltrated in the Western Hemisphere, and certainly not in the Panama Canal, which is a very important place for our country. Dasha.
Continues to call the Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, Governor of Canada. I'm curious what he means by that, and if there are any plans that are moving forward with trying to make Canada the 51st state. And I have a follow-up on the economy as well.
Sure. Well, the president put that in his True Social account, or his True Social post earlier today. He feels strongly that it would be very beneficial for the Canadian people to be the 51st state of the United States. They wouldn't be paying for these tariffs. They'd have much lower taxes if they were part of our great country.
Well, and on the economy, you and I traveled the country during the campaign. This is an issue that so many voters decided to cast their ballots on, and they voted for President Trump. He has started to have that realistic conversation with the American people, that disturbance comment last night. But I'm curious if you can be real with Americans right now as all of these factors are playing out. are things potentially going to get worse before they get better?
Look, I've now been asked and answered this same question just given to me in different verbiage of 3 different times, and I will answer it again in an effort of transparency to the American people, because this is an important issue, and the American people, this president understands that it is. And again, that's why in his joint address to Congress last night, he addressed this issue with a realistic and honest approach. He talked about what this administration is doing to unleash American energy and to make America affordable again, and this administration is wholeheartedly committed to doing it. And I would remind the American public that the first term record of this president speaks volumes. That's why they reelected him, because they know that he can fix our broken economy, and it's very, very broken from the previous administration. Stephen.
Thank you, Caroline. I've got 2 questions, one on press access, the other on fentanyl and tariffs.
Sure.
On press access, your predecessor, Karine Jean-Pierre, who presided over many novel press access restrictions, criticized the recent changes to the press pool made by your office. She said in an interview, quote, "What we're looking at is what North Korea is doing." What's your response to that? And can you say anything to allay concerns that unfavorable coverage will be punished in this new press pool system?
I think that's the same individual who said from this podium numerous times that the commander-in-chief was mentally and physically up for the job, which we knew was a lie. Many people in this room knew it was a lie. Many of you were admonished for asking questions about that truth. So when it comes to truth and transparency, this administration, this White House is setting the example. This president is taking far more questions than his predecessor, Joe Biden, did on a daily basis, and that will continue.
And on fentanyl and tariffs, fentanyl produced largely in China has killed 334,000 Americans over 5 years. According to CDC data, that's about 1 in every 1,000 Americans. President Trump has cited this for applying new tariffs to Canada, Mexico, and China. But in addition to China's talk about being ready for any kind of war, they said yesterday, the foreign ministry said that, quote, "the fentanyl issue is a flimsy excuse to raise U.S. tariffs," and, quote, "U.S., not anyone else, is responsible for the fentanyl crisis." So what's the response to China that the talk of fentanyl is just an excuse for tariffs? And what does that say about the resolution?
Well, of course, the country that is getting very rich off of distributing this deadly poison to American citizens is going to say that. Again, the president knows where the American people stand on this issue. Fentanyl overdoses. Dasha brought up all of us campaigning all across the country. They talked about inflation. They also talked about the border, the illegal immigrants that we're pouring through, but also these deadly drugs. And again, the president keeps in mind those families every single day when he is making these tough decisions. But it's a necessary decision, and he's no longer going to allow the United States of America to be a dumping ground for illegal immigrants and for illegal drugs that are killing our nation's people. This is the #1 leading cause of death in our country, and there needs to be action taken to ensure that cannot continue. Thank you very much,
Caroline.
guys. We'll see you later.
Thank you, Hippie Joy. Okay, so hello, welcome to today's beach report. We're not on the beach because it's been raining all day long. So, well, not all day long. But in Florida, it rarely rains all day long. That's usually a hurricane situation. However, today it's been gloomy all day long. Let's just put it that way. Raining a little bit. Raining a lot, actually. But the rain's over. So anyway, I'm not going on the beach today. So I'm here in the kitchen. And I wanted to talk to you guys about last night's very interesting reaction to President Trump's speech. Most notably, as he went around the room and paid homage to all sorts of very amazing Americans of all ages, and clearly helped these people. Some of them couldn't be helped. He honored those who died for their country, or as in the case of Corey Comprador, actually took a bullet for the man and saved the life of his wife and daughters at the same time. A very, very brave person. Hi, Mikey. It's really quite unbelievable that half of the room seem to be against all of this. They couldn't even clap for a little boy who is suffering from cancer. Really? So it really has to make one wonder, whose side are they on? When the only thing they did clap for was when President Trump made a very, let's say, interesting observation about Pocahontas and how Pocahontas wants more war. And Pocahontas clapped when she wasn't looking at her phone, which apparently was on X the whole time. I don't know, but it's fun. It's fun to go on X. Have you been on X lately? Because when you go on X, you find out very quickly that these people have no fans. Well, every time Pocahontas sends out an X post, everyone is on her like, we know you're a liar. We know you're a fake Indian. Somebody even posted a picture of her law license with all sorts of information on it. But a big thing on it saying nationality, and she wrote American Indian. Yeah, yeah. And we all know now that that's a bold-faced lie. Laura says, I think they are told to wear pink and not clap so everybody can see who they are. Well, we all saw who they are. They did clap, though. They did. They clapped for war. That's what they clapped for. Hippie J, I think President Trump showed the entire country whose side he's on. And it is the side of the American people. I even had some diehard Trump hater people tell me that they were impressed. So that says a lot. Yes, an American fake Indian. I mean, Lady Di, what the actual, like, who does that? Grifter. She couldn't get into law school without lying and saying that she was a protected class of American Indians. And for those of you who actually know American Indians, and I do, and my husband worked with the Seminole tribe for 20 years, so I know a lot about American Indians. At least I know a lot about the Seminoles, but I also even have an American Indian, who's way more of an American Indian than Elizabeth Warren ever was or ever will be. And she's in my family. So yes, I think those of us who know and love actual American Indians would be offended by a woman like Elizabeth Warren claiming to be someone she is not. You know, they get mad about that. Like, oh, like men claiming to be women when they are not. That's another one that the Democrats think is a good thing. Men in women's sports. And President Trump's finally put those people in their place. And don't they know that most American people are not approving of having men compete in women's sports? I mean, they separate the sexes for a reason. Now maybe we can all play badminton together and it's not that dire, not a big deal. Just saying. Hey, maybe even volleyball, you know, you got some men on your team and you got some women on your team, and make it equal. But men pretending to be women, there's another word for them. It's cheaters. You're a cheater. Sorry. You want to have the advantage against women. So you go into women's sports and you then become a cheater. Just calling it like I see it. Just like my President Trump. Laura's maid of honor was part Cherokee. That's my sister-in-law is part Cherokee. Yep. So yeah. So that's another thing that the Democrats really love is displacing women. Here they're wearing pink because they're supposedly supporting women's rights. But the one right the women have, which is their own bathrooms, by the way, a sacred space where you don't want to see any peepees in there ever, unless they are teeny tiny babies, just saying. Under 2, that's okay. You can be in the women's room. But if you are older than 2 years old, get the F out. I don't care if you've got lipstick on. I don't care if you're wearing a dress way more expensive than anything I own. I don't care. I don't want you in the bathroom. Sorry. I don't care if you're the nicest person in the world. If you have a pee-pee, you go in the men's room. That's just how it works. And if you had some kind of a surgery to have it chopped off, then I guess, I don't know, you can come in, but I don't know. I don't even want to go there. That's just too horrible to even think about it. Yes, that's right, Donna. It's because you have lipstick that you can't be on that team. Yeah, Americans are not on that team. Okay, now I want to go back to something that is really disturbing me, and I want to know what y'all think about it. So, there was a situation with Lindsey Graham and Zelenskyy going on that told me a lot. Tell me if you guys are on the same wavelength as I am. So we all know that Zelenskyy met with a group of apparently Democrats and Republicans before he met with President Trump and J.D. Vance. And wasn't Marco Rubio in there too? Anyway, he met with these people, let's call them people, government people, elected officials, if you will, and maybe some not elected, don't know. Anyway, he met with these people, and he, in pictures, looked really happy and chummy, and like he was the star of the show. And here he was, little Z, he's in America. He had to sign that mineral rights agreement in America. Susan Rice, by the way, was against the mineral rights agreement because she didn't think it was fair to the Ukraine. Really? Really, Susan Rice? Okay. All right. Okay. Anyway, so we know this happened. And when anybody said anything about, well, that just doesn't seem good, that he was meeting with these people before he met with President Trump, and then things went so wackadoo with President Trump. No, something happened. Something happened in that previous meeting with all those people, right? I'm going to read this article. This is from ndtv.com. I don't know who that is, but it's an interesting article, and it's probably taken from other news sources, so whatever. Anyway, it seems to be the truth. Zelenskyy fires back at U.S. Senator who asked him to resign. He responds. That's the headline. After the heated Oval Office meeting, Senator Lindsey Graham called for Volodymyr Zelenskyy to resign, calling him an utter disaster. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy delivered a sharp retort to U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham's suggestion that he should step down, telling the South Carolina Republican that if he wanted his opinion to matter, he could move to Ukraine and become a citizen. Now, this is totally laughable. It goes on. Listen to this. I can give him the citizenship of Ukraine, Zelenskyy said when asked about Graham's remarks. He will become a citizen of our country, and then his voice will gain weight. And I will hear him as a citizen of Ukraine on the topic of who must be the president. This is really laughable. And Graham gets it too. Graham, a longtime advocate of Ukraine, why? But now a vocal critic of Zelenskyy responded, unfortunately, until there is an election, no one has a voice in Ukraine. I mean, that's not the craziest, the funniest, the funny, not haha funny, but it does make me laugh, but also ironic. Because, first of all, just the fact that Zelenskyy has suspended all elections, we really don't know what's going on in Ukraine. And we really don't know how the people of Ukraine feel about this person who used to be a famous actor, comedian, and is now running their country into the ground and literally kidnapping men off the streets to fight in a war that they are surely going to lose. Just saying. It doesn't make any sense, right? This man has not only suspended, and I'm sorry, my lost tooth here is making me have a weird lisp, so sorry about that. I hate it. Anyway, put up with me, please. So anyway, the thing about this guy, this Zelenskyy, he is a dictator. Right now, he's acting like a dictator. I mean, can you imagine? I saw a video of a woman running after her son who was being literally ripped from her arms, and he was a grown man, but she's trying to hold on to him as like thugs, like dozen thugs, like a lot of them are trying to pull him into a car to put him in the army. What is that? These people don't want to fight. And you know what? President Trump doesn't want them to fight. President Trump is sick of the killing, just like I am, just like you are, just like every normal person who doesn't want to see people killed in a war, really under any circumstances. What? Yeah, they are. They're running out of men. Seniors will be next. Women will be next. I don't know. Right now they're going after dads, 30 to 40 years old, 50 years old with kids, maybe. I don't know. But they're literally pulling people off the streets. And JD said that. And Zelenskyy didn't counteract him, did he? Okay, I'm going to read you a little bit more from this article, because here's if you don't know about this, here's a little recap of what happened, but then it gets even more interesting. Yeah, child trafficking too, exactly. The tense Oval Office meeting. The dramatic exchange following an explosive meeting between Zelenskyy, his U.S. counterpart Donald Trump. See, they won't even call him President Donald Trump. What is that? What is that? First, they kept calling him former President Donald Trump. Now they can't even say President Donald Trump. His U.S. counterpart. Yeah. So again, this is a very skewed media viewpoint, just so you know that. Okay. But it's telling. It's so telling. Listen to this. Okay. And Vice President, he's allowed to be Vice President. J.D. Vance in the Oval Office on Friday. Was it really Friday? It seems like it was a year ago. Okay, it's hard to believe things are happening so quickly. I can't keep my MAGA hat on. But I will. Because that's what's happening. America. Make it great again. Anyway. Zelenskyy had been seeking stronger U.S. support for Ukraine's war effort. War effort. What is a war effort? Effort to kill people? What the hell is a war effort? Anyway, just their language. It's not cool. But the discussion quickly spiraled into a public confrontation. And I'm so glad that it did. As tensions mounted... Are they writing a screenplay here? Trump pressed Zelenskyy on whether Ukraine was willing to make territorial concessions to Russia. Yeah, I don't really remember it happening like that, but okay. Vance joined in, escalating the confrontation by accusing the Ukrainian president of lacking appreciation for American aid. Okay, this paragraph right here is not what happened. Trump was not pressing Zelenskyy on whether Ukraine would make territorial concessions. Zelenskyy was demanding full on, we want protection. We need more money. Give me. Well, we need to continue fighting because there's no way Putin's going to listen to you. That's what he kept saying. It was Zelenskyy. It was Zelenskyy who was actually going after Trump and changing the mineral rights deal, which is what he was there to do, was to sign that deal and making it sound like, first of all, America gave all that money to him and the Ukraine to him. Just saying. Anyway, acting like that was not a loan, it was a gift from the wonderful American people who just give gifts of billions and trillions of dollars so that people can fight in wars. What? What? No. 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 So anyway, it was Zelensky who was pressing Trump, and it was Zelensky who started to claim that we have a nice ocean and we soon feel the pain. And President Trump's like, don't you tell us what we're gonna feel. He was getting mad because that dude, I know Al, that dude was really pressing his luck and telling President Trump that our soldiers were gonna die, okay? No. Not on President Trump's watch. You know, when he was president for 4 years, nobody died. Nope. Nobody. Not one person. Nope. That's not how it works. Not in President Trump's country when he is in charge. So anyway, this media, liars, pants on fire. So it's a good thing you've got me. A true media, a true source, journalist. I'm not the source. I'm the writer. I'm the journalist. I'm the reporter. But when I see crap like this, and I said it, I earlier said I thought it was true, but it's really not. It's not an honest take on what happened, because I saw it for myself, and so did you. So you know this isn't true. You see how they all lie. All right, anyway, if they'll lie about this, what else will they lie about? Well, you know. Whew. Zelensky fired back at Vance. What kind of diplomacy, JD? He pointed out Ukraine's multiple failed negotiations with Russia before the full-scale invasion. The exchange only grew more heated, ending in Trump declaring that Zelensky was gambling with World War III, which is true. Which is so very, very true. Lady Di says Zelensky's going to be accountable in the end. Oh, yes, he is. Oh, yes, he is. He's not dealing with no Sleepy Joe. No. He's not dealing with Obama. No. He's dealing with our President Trump. Wiz says, I like how the Dems talk about democracy when they don't even know what that means. The only thing they clapped cheered about last night was when President Donald J. Trump spoke about Ukraine. Yes, and spoke about how they want more war. They said, yes, give us more war. Please give us more war. We have a lot of money riding on this. Yeah, don't we all know it? Don't we all know why you want more war? Oh, yeah, just like you want more sickness, too, and you want more fentanyl. Yes, we know why you want all that. Money. The tension peaked, according to this lying news media source, when Zelensky warned that Russian aggression could eventually threaten the U.S. You'll have a nice ocean and don't feel it now, but you will feel it in the future. They say he said, but I'll say he threatened. That reportedly frustrated Trump. Oh, no, it didn't frustrate Trump. It pissed him off. It pissed me off, too. Did it piss you off? Because I was pretty angry when I heard that. That reportedly frustrated Trump, who ended the meeting abruptly and canceled a planned joint press conference. That's really not what happened either. No, here's Trump. Don't tell us what we're gonna feel. We're gonna feel good. We're gonna feel wonderful. You're the one with no cards to play. You better watch your step, little Z. That's what happened. That's the way it went down. It didn't go down like this at all. I was there. You were there. I'm not lying. I'm not making it up. They are. They're putting a spin on it that is so not true. Shame on you, NTD. Wait, what is this? NDTV.com. Don't believe a word they say. Hippie J says, woke Supreme Court need to go. That was BS what they pulled today. Yes, it was. Because they are in bed with the Democrats. It's clear. Some of them. Maybe not all of them. But, Who's the one who's not? Uh, I'm blanking here. Help me out, you guys. There's like 2 good Supreme Court justices left. And it's definitely not that Amy Comey Barrett. She's got that Comey name. I got to wonder about her anyway. Thomas, thank you, Justice Thomas. Exactly. Yes, we can trust him. And there's one other one. I think we can. It's not Roberts, though. Is it only Thomas? Yes, Victor David Hansen is awesomeness. I agree, Atwiz. In a later interview, this is telling too. Zelenskyy acknowledged that his Oval Office exchange with Trump and Vance had been heated. No, it wasn't heated. He didn't acknowledge it was heated. I think the word he used was regrettable, but defended his approach, calling it necessary. Oh, I didn't hear that, but that's interesting. Really? Yeah, Kavanaugh. Thank you. He's another good one. Yeah, his approach was necessary to show us all that he does not want peace. All right, now the story gets really good. Graham calls for Zelenskyy to resign. After the meeting, Lindsey Graham did not hold back his criticism. He either needs to resign and send somebody over that we can do business with. What? Or he needs to change. What? I want to say that one more time. Lindsey Graham. He either needs to resign and send somebody over that we can do business with, or he needs to change. Ooh, the business of war, huh? Very interesting, right? So Lindsey Graham said this in front of White House reporters. Outside of the White House. So people outside the White House who were reporters, apparently, including maybe these people, but who knows. He called the discussion a complete and utter disaster and suggested Zelensky's leadership had become an obstacle to effective U.S.-Ukraine relations, or might I add, U.S.-Ukraine grift, as in money coming from the U.S. to Ukraine, and being handed to the likes of Lindsey Graham and a bunch of other folks, I'm gonna guess. Hours before the Oval Office clash, oh, I love their wonderful adjectives about what happened. Name the other famous dictator that went everywhere in military clothes, not suits. We all know. Would that be Castro? Is there another one? I don't know. Mao? Really, all of the dude in North Korea, but I mean, are those traditional clothes or what? I don't know. Yeah, no, I don't trust Barrett at all. Hitler, did he also? I don't know. They're bringing up Hitler all the time. I'm so sick of it. I don't want to hear his name anymore. Anyway, okay, now this is the most important part of this story. Don't take the bait, the senator warned. He warned. Again, supposedly, these bipartisan senators and others met with Zelenskyy before he met with President Trump. Warning him? Coaching him? What? What is this? What is this? Don't take the bait, the senator warned, advising the Ukrainian leader to avoid heated arguments over security agreements. Zelenskyy, however, did not hold back once the meeting began, leading to one of the most intense diplomatic standoffs in recent U.S.-Ukraine relations. Okay, again, that paragraph is BS, but what I'm getting out of this whole thing is that all those government people, those elected officials, they were coaching Zelenskyy. I think everyone in that room needs to be investigated for treason. every single person in that room, even if you didn't say anything, if you were in there and you were in on this little powwow and talking to this foreign leader who's been stealing trillions of dollars with the blessing of you and your favorite president, Biden, who was working with the Ukraine a long, long time before this. So, oh yes, the land of the eternal grift with all sorts of stuff like biolabs and Azkarian, what did they call it? Azkarian Nazis and, oh, what else? Was Burisma, what was that? Was that banking? What was that? Oil? I don't know. Resource? What was Burisma? What was that all about? Companies who worked on Burisma. Let's see. Hunter Biden and Peglosi's kid and the Heinz kid. Yeah. What was that all about, huh? And why did President Trump get impeached just for asking about it? Asking about the felon, Hunter Biden, who got a full-on pardon for everything he'd ever done since the day before he joined Burisma. What? Oh, Chris Murphy. What about him? Oh, yeah, that's another guy. Love the Ukrainians. Love to go over to Ukraine, talk to them. Along with Susan Rice, who knew way too much about that minerals acquisition deal. She knew way too much. How come you know so much, Susan? Weren't you the same Susan Rice that told us all that that 9/11 fiasco in Benghazi was over a movie, a video posted by an American? Is that the same Susan Rice who did that to our country? Oh, great. A scammer's calling me now. Let me know if you can still hear and see me. So frustrating. Do I need to go out and come back in? Let me know. Sound check. Atwiz says, I think the people in the administration and the Democrats of the past 4 years need to be investigated for treason, I think you meant to say, right? Weapons of mass destruction. Yes, all of them. Yep. Okay, thank you, Audrey. So yes, Gitmo. Glad you're here, Audrey. Hey, Donna. Thank you. Anyway, yeah. Is there a reason why people like me commonly get shadow banned? Is there a reason for it? Do I say too much? Do I ask too many questions? I am an actual card-carrying journalist. Oh, yes, I am. I was with the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette for 18 years. I used to edit the Rolling Stone magazine. It's a fact. Yep. Yeah. Anyway, here I am on YouTube. That was my cool little microphone. Hello, Martin. Wie geht's? Wie geht's dir? Yes, and I speak Swiss German, which is actually, as Martin can tell you, not everybody can do that. Yeah, your girl's been all around, and I've done the immigration thing. And I, for one, am so happy that President Trump has closed the border. It's about damn time. That's right. You know, it's so interesting. There's no other country on earth that would just let people, except for England. Let's talk about the UK for a second. Do you know what happened today at the UK? Do you guys know what happened at Windsor Castle? Do you know? Oh, vielen Dank, Martin. Vielen Dank. Let me know if you guys know what happened at Windsor Castle today, because it's going to blow your mind if you don't. That's right. Businessman, not political puppet, drain the swamp. Exactly, Hippie J. That's why we hired him. Okay, so Windsor Castle. Windsor Castle today signified that the United Kingdom, England, is going downtown Judy Brown. Because apparently King Charlie has opened up Windsor Castle. You're never going to believe this. To the Muslims. Oh, yes. Today, a whole passel of Muslims were all spread out on the floor of Windsor Castle, praying to Allah, Allah Akbar, doing that stuff, and breaking their Ramadan fast, eating food off the floor of Windsor Castle. Yes, that happened today. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? Yes, Lady Dies Windsor, my friend. Yes. Yes. Thoughts? What does that tell you? And Prime Minister, what's his name? Starner, something like that. Oh, welcome, Muslims. Welcome to Windsor Castle. Have a good time today. Yeah. That happened. That happened. And I think it's the end of the UK. I'm just saying. Martin, I am a journalist. I'm a writer. I'm an author. I've written 2 books. And you'll love my 3rd book because it's called 7 Years in Switzerland. Oh, yes, it is. So that'll be fun. Ray, why is that bad? Why is Windsor Castle hosting Istifan for the first time ever in history? Why is that bad? Well, let's see. Maybe it's because England is a Christian country. They do rule the Anglican Church. They have never, ever before invited another religion into their sacred spaces, like their royal kingdom, ever. And now all of a sudden, the country is being overrun by people who have infiltrated for the past 2, maybe 3 decades. And what they've done to England's children is abhorrent. They have literally... They call them Asian grooming gangs, but they're actually mostly Muslim. And they have just done unspeakable things to England's children over the past 2 decades at least. And these kids they can't get their childhoods back. And when they would complain and they would tell people what was going on, the police didn't help them. And England instead let their country be overrun by these people who don't belong there and do not act like Brits. And now if you say anything against them, you're a huge racist. And it's just really bad then. And of course, the British royalty, I mean, we know what Prince Andrew did, and Ghislaine Maxwell, and the Jeffrey Epstein thing. Yeah, all into it. And how about, who was that other guy? The guy with the googly eyes. They made him a sir. They made him a knight. And he was like the worst, like, pedo, ever in the history of England. Like, he had the keys to the mental hospitals. And he would go in and he would just do whatever he wanted to the children. So, I think if you don't know what I'm talking about, you should look it up. Because it's true. China is probably going to build the largest embassy in the world in the UK. Wow. Asian grooming gangs are real too. Well, they call them Asian grooming gangs, but they're people who they don't have the same regards for women or human beings as the rest of us do. So I think that England, that the House of Windsor hosting the Muslims is indeed a sign of the times. So go look it up yourselves. Don't take my word for it. I'm not British, but I've been there and I have been to Windsor Castle. And it is a very, very beautiful place. And the thought of what's going on there, it really makes me wonder about the future of the UK. So look that up for yourselves. Make up your own minds. I'm just giving you the information. All right, don't shoot the messenger. I'm going to say ciao for now. It's been a fun afternoon with y'all, and I'm gonna see if this weather gets a little bit better. Probably not gonna have a very good sunset tonight though, so. And Ray, if you think I have incorrect information, you're welcome to go look it up on your own and find out the truth for yourself. But I'm not lying about anything. All right, you guys. I'll see you later, Sherry. Love you all, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Ciao for now.